Hello and welcome to the Deep Dive, brought to you today by the Learn English Lab. For this session, we're embarking on an in-depth exploration of a truly timely and transformative topic, minimalism, a growing lifestyle trend. In our hyper-connected, consumer-driven world, it often feels like we're constantly overwhelmed, doesn't it? Just think about it for a moment. The relentless stream of notifications buzzing on our phones, closets overflowing with clothes we barely wear, the mental load of managing countless subscriptions, and that constant, almost exhausting pressure to keep up with everyone around us, both online and off. It's a lot to navigate, but what if there was another way? A powerful counter-narrative, a genuine breath of fresh air amidst all that digital and physical clutter. That's where minimalism steps in. At its core, it's about intentionally living with fewer possessions, fewer distractions, fewer commitments, all to create vital space for what truly matters in your life. It's not just some fleeting trend you might see pop up on your social media feed. It's a profound mindset shift, a deliberate choice to redefine what enough means.
It's remarkable how pervasive this philosophy has become, truly weaving its way into nearly every aspect of our modern existence. Far from merely decluttering a closet, it's a foundational approach that influences how we design our homes, how we strategically navigate our careers, and even how we thoughtfully manage our digital interactions. The essence here is being exceptionally deliberate in what we permit into our lives. Understanding that every item, every commitment, every notification carries a cost, whether it's financial, emotional, or, in terms of our precious time.
That's a powerful way to frame it, and that's precisely what we're going to unravel today. We'll journey through minimalism's surprisingly rich historical roots, uncover why it's experiencing such a significant surge in popularity right now in 2025. Consider its diverse global interpretations, delve into its incredible science-backed benefits, show practical steps to help you get started on your own journey, and even candidly look at some of its challenges and its fascinating future trajectory. So let's truly unpack this intriguing way of life and discover how less can genuinely be so much more for you. It's easy to think of minimalism as a modern invention, something that just appeared on social media feeds overnight, but its roots, when you really dig into them, run remarkably deep. This isn't just a contemporary trend, it's a philosophy that blends ancient wisdom with profound cultural shifts across centuries. When we discuss minimalism today, we're actually tapping into ideas that have resonated with humanity for millennia.
It's true. When we consider the broader implications, it becomes clear that ancient thinkers were already grappling with the very human tendency to accumulate. And the wisdom they offered still resonates powerfully today. For instance, cast your mind back to the ancient Greeks, who championed the concept of eudaimonia. This wasn't about accumulating vast wealth or countless possessions. Instead, it was centered on cultivating a flourishing life, one rich with virtue and inner purpose. It emphasized inner fulfillment and living authentically, standing in stark contrast to an endless, often unsatisfying pursuit of external goods. It truly flips the script on what happiness entails.
So it's about inner richness, not outer stuff.
Exactly. Then you have Epicurus, who advocated for what he termed modest pleasures. His philosophy wasn't about asceticism, but about finding true contentment and tranquility in simple things. A good conversation, a healthy meal, the comfort of friendship, rather than a constant exhausting indulgence in luxury. He suggested that appreciating what you already had brought far more lasting joy than perpetually chasing the next big thing.
That feels very relevant today, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And the Stoics, with figures like Seneca, explicitly warned against the inherent traps and burdens of wealth and excessive material attachment. They emphasized inner tranquility and resilience, pointing out that too many external possessions could actually become a significant source of anxiety, requiring constant management, protection, and ultimately undermining our peace of mind. Their teachings were clear. True security wasn't found in what you owned, but in your inner state and your ability to be content with little.
It's astounding how those philosophies from so long ago echo so clearly in our present-day conversations. But minimalism also had a profound impact in a very different realm. Skipping ahead to the 20th century, particularly post-World War II America, minimalism emerged as a distinct art movement in the 1960s and 70s. It was almost a visceral rebellion against the perceived chaos and emotional intensity of abstract expressionism that had previously dominated the art scene. Artists at this time were yearning for clarity, for a return to fundamental principles.
That's a key point. This movement was characterized by embracing incredibly clean lines, stark geometric shapes, and a radical stripping down of art to its absolute essence, focusing purely on form, color, and material. Pioneers like Donald Judd and Agnes Martin were instrumental in defining this new visual language. Their work exemplified this reductive approach, influencing not just fine art, but also extending powerfully into industrial design and architecture. They truly demonstrated that profound expression and impact could rise from profound simplicity, challenging the notion that complexity always equates to meaning.
Right, like getting back to basics. And this is where it gets particularly insightful. Architects like Ludwig Mies van der Rohe famously popularized the timeless phrase, "less is more." This wasn't just a catchy slogan, it became a guiding principle that fundamentally shaped modern homes, especially throughout the 1980s and 90s. With their emphasis on open, flowing spaces, abundant natural light, and highly functional designs, this architectural philosophy continues to inspire contemporary homes where functionality, clean aesthetics, and a sense of spaciousness are absolutely paramount. It's about creating environments that feel calm and considered.
And these varied threads gradually began to weave into minimalism as a distinct lifestyle choice. Eastern philosophies, especially Zen Buddhism, got a significant quiet influence, emphasizing simplicity, mindfulness, and the profound value of empty space. Consider the Japanese concept of ma, which isn't just an absence or a void, but a meaningful interval, an intentional emptiness. That allows other elements to breathe, to be appreciated, and to achieve greater impact. This idea profoundly shaped a new appreciation for quietude, presence, and spatial harmony.
You can clearly see these ideals embodied by historical figures, too, even long before the term minimalism was common. Take Henry David Thoreau, for example, and his famous Walden experiment in the 1800s. He deliberately chose to live simply and close to nature, focusing on self-sufficiency, deep reflection, and a direct engagement with life rather than chasing material accumulation. He was, in essence, a profound minimalist long before the word even existed, proving that the desire for simpler living isn't new.
You're right. And then the 2000s brought a different kind of amplifying effect with post-recession realities. Many people experienced profound and often traumatic losses: jobs, homes, and cherished possessions. This period led to a stark realization for many. Owning less could actually lead to greater security, freedom, and personal resilience, rather than leaving one more vulnerable. The experience of forced decluttering, in a way, unexpectedly opened eyes to the tangible benefits of intentional simplicity, sparking a deeper reflection on what truly holds value.
So it's abundantly clear that minimalism has deep, diverse roots, spanning philosophical traditions and artistic movements. And today, it's evolved into a truly global phenomenon, blending these historical threads with increasingly urgent modern concerns like environmental sustainability. It's no longer just an aesthetic or a personal preference. In fact, as of 2025, we're seeing voluntary minimalism and what's being termed low desire living on a significant rise among younger generations. This isn't just in affluent countries, but even in rapidly emerging economies, signaling a much broader cultural shift away from rampant, unquestioning consumerism and towards more intentional living. Now let's fast forward to September 2025, and minimalism isn't just a niche idea anymore, it's decidedly mainstream, a powerful cultural force shaping how millions live. To give you a clear idea of the scale, the global minimalist lifestyle products market was valued at a staggering USD 10 billion in 2024 alone, and is projected to grow at a robust 10% compound annual growth rate all the way through 2030. That's a truly clear indicator of its widespread adoption and profound impact across diverse sectors.
What's truly fueling this immense growth, this pervasive trend? Well, economic imperatives are certainly a primary, undeniable factor. With inflation lingering stubbornly and the sting of recent recessions still fresh in many people's memories, there's a strong, conscious prioritization of financial freedom and stability. This directly translates into more thoughtful consumption patterns and a deliberate move towards versatile, minimalist clothing and lifestyles. It's a very practical way for people to adapt to changing societal norms and, crucially, to save money when every dollar counts. The looming threat of economic instability is undeniably a significant factor here, making intentional spending not just a choice, but a necessity for many households worldwide. This raises a very important question, doesn't it? How much of this current surge is pure philosophical choice, and how much is a pragmatic, perhaps even forced response to immediate economic realities?
That's a perceptive point. And beyond purely economic pressures, we're observing some significant cultural and generational shifts that seem to be steering people toward minimalism. For example, we're seeing declining marriage and birth rates in some societies that are leaning heavily into minimalist principles. This can be interpreted as a reflection of an increased focus on individual fulfillment, personal growth, and experiences. Rather than strictly adhering to traditional milestones or accumulating the material possessions often associated with them, like large family homes or extensive wardrobes, it's a profound reevaluation of what a good life truly means on a personal level.
And Gen Z is really at the forefront of driving much of this cultural redefinition. Over half of Gen Z individuals express a keen interest in digital detox and adopting minimalist practices. They're often seen as actively rejecting the traditional hustle culture, that relentless drive for professional accumulation in favor of what's being termed career minimalism. This isn't about giving up ambition. Rather, it's embracing lily pad careers, pursuing multiple side hustles, or moving fluidly between diverse roles instead of rigidly climbing a single corporate ladder. Their priority is often work-life balance, passion-driven work, and personal well-being above all else. In the U.S. particularly, we're seeing consumers actively reinventing themselves through simplicity and intentionality amidst very rapid societal and economic changes, opting for adaptability over static accumulation.
Digital overload is another absolutely huge piece of this contemporary puzzle. In 2025, digital minimalism has become a truly crucial practice for maintaining mental well-being for countless individuals. It's about consciously curating your apps, rigorously limiting notifications, and being highly intentional about your screen time. It's about adopting digital tools that genuinely serve your needs and actively eliminating those that merely create distraction, noise, or a sense of FOMO, the fear of missing out. It's a proactive way to reclaim focus, mental space, and precious time in a world that constantly vies for our attention, trying to pull us in 1,000 different directions.
And what's particularly insightful here is the direct, undeniable link between these personal choices and their broader global impact. Minimalism inherently encourages reduced consumption, which naturally translates into less waste being generated. This, in turn, often lowers individual carbon footprints significantly. This personal lifestyle choice aligns seamlessly with broader environmental sustainability goals and the growing collective awareness of our ecological responsibilities.
Right.
It's a powerful demonstration of how individual actions, when multiplied, can have profound positive planetary consequences.
Right, so your personal choices have a bigger echo.
Exactly.
Even the dynamic world of fashion is adapting to this minimalist resurgence. We're seeing a clear return to timeless, more classic minimalist styles, but with sophisticated modern twists. It's moving beyond the stark, almost sterile white spaces and severe lines of earlier minimalist aesthetics towards warmer, more grounded color palettes and natural textures. Think ultimate comfort, incredible versatility, and enduring style that transcends fleeting trends, focusing on pieces that truly last and offer multiple styling options.
Looking at the bigger picture, as one trend observer articulated, minimalism is truly one of the top 10 lifestyle shifts fundamentally shaping 2025. People are actively seeking clarity, control, and calm in what often feels like an increasingly chaotic and demanding world. We're also witnessing a rise in phenomena like no-buy years, where individuals commit to purchasing only absolute necessities for an entire year, and the adoption of micro-habits that consistently reduce consumption, like a daily 10-minute declutter. These are very practical, direct responses to the immense consumption pressures that our society often places upon us, allowing individuals to push back and regain agency.
Okay, so it's really gaining momentum. Now let's broaden our lens and talk about global interpretations. Minimalism isn't confined to a single culture or region, is it? It's truly a global conversation, though its expression and underlying motivations can vary significantly depending on where you are in the world. It's a fascinating tapestry of shared principles and unique cultural applications.
That's a crucial distinction. The manifestation of minimalism differs considerably. In more affluent economies, for example, places like the US, Canada, and Western Europe, embracing minimalism is very often a voluntary choice. It's driven by a conscious desire for mental clarity, a sense of personal freedom from the burdens of material possessions, and a deliberate escape from the overwhelming demands of rampant consumerism. It's an active decision to step back from the more is better mentality and reevaluate personal values.
So, kind of a reaction to having too much.
In many ways, yes. However, in many emerging markets, minimalism often blends seamlessly with existing cultural traditions of frugality and what's been termed low-desire living. Here, younger generations are frequently opting out of hyperconsumerism, but their motivations are often rooted in a desire to focus on experiences, strengthen essential community ties, and foster personal growth rather than accumulating material possessions. It's a natural inclination toward living meaningfully within their existing means, often reinforced by a collective understanding of resourcefulness and communal support.
That cultural tapestry is really quite fascinating in its nuances. In Japan, for instance, minimalism draws deeply from centuries of Zen philosophy and aesthetics. It incorporates the concept of ma, which, as we touched on earlier, isn't just an empty space, but a meaningful, intentional void between elements, allowing for contemplation and heightened appreciation of what is present. This philosophy has profoundly influenced global trends, including influential figures like Marie Kondo, whose methods emphasize intentionality and gratitude in our relationship with our possessions.
Similarly, if we look to Scandinavia, the concept of lagom, meaning just enough, promotes a balanced, sustainable, and community-oriented lifestyle that is inherently eco-friendly. It's an approach to living that emphasizes moderation, fairness, and a collective sense of responsibility rather than individual excess or stark deprivation. Lagom represents a form of integrated minimalism embedded directly within a broader cultural ethos, prioritizing collective well-being and environmental stewardship.
This brings us to a very important, often discussed counterargument. Is minimalism an elitist concept? While it's certainly a chosen lifestyle for some, for many others, particularly in lower-income regions or communities grappling with economic insecurity, owning less isn't a trend or a conscious philosophical choice. It's a fundamental necessity driven by financial constraints and often daily resource scarcity. This perspective absolutely demands our consideration.
It does. In places like India or Brazil, where resource scarcity can be a daily reality, the minimalism movement adapts to these specific contexts. It emphasizes resourceful living, fostering incredible innovation and problem solving, and engaging in practices like upcycling, giving new creative life to old items that might otherwise be discarded. This prompts a crucial examination of the privilege often associated with choosing minimalism in affluent societies. It truly highlights that the experience of less can be vastly different depending on one's socioeconomic background and circumstances. However, it also becomes a universal tool as urbanization continues globally, shaping trends like tiny homes and shared economies as practical ways to navigate modern life and resource limitations in increasingly dense urban environments.
Right, necessity versus choice. And it's equally important to acknowledge that not everyone fully embraces the hype around minimalism. Some critics argue that in certain ways it has failed as a widespread anti-consumerist movement. Instead of fundamentally shifting societal consumption habits on a grand scale, it has, in certain instances, morphed into a commercialized aesthetic. You see this in outrageously expensive minimalist wardrobes or sleek gadgets that are marketed as promoting simplicity, but ironically come with a hefty price tag, almost creating a new form of aspirational high-end consumption.
The minimalist aesthetic trap. Other criticisms detail the potential for minimalism to inadvertently strip away personal identity or warmth, leading to bland or colorless lives that feel devoid of fun, genuine expression, or even joy. For families, especially those with children who inevitably accumulate toys and gear, or for individuals experiencing poverty, owning less can mean vulnerability and struggle, not freedom or choice. Imagine a situation where less means truly lacking basic necessities like warm clothing or a comfortable bed.
That's a profoundly valid point, and it highlights that context truly is everything. Makes me wonder, given these powerful criticisms, is there a risk that minimalism could become almost self-defeating, that in trying to simplify, we complicate or even exclude?
It's a crucial question, and absolutely, that risk exists if it's approached dogmatically. If minimalism becomes a rigid set of rules or another aspiration to purchase, then yes, it misses its mark entirely. The important takeaway is that while it faces legitimate challenges, its enduring legacy lies in encouraging intentionality and mindful consumption. It's not about following a strict one-size-fits-all dogma. It's about adapting it personally. Minimalism doesn't need to be extreme to be remarkably effective and beneficial. It's about finding your personal just enough, not some arbitrary, externally imposed ideal of less. It's about empowering your choices, not restricting them.
Okay, that makes sense. We've talked a lot about the inner experience and the philosophical side, but how does this translate into the visible world around us? I'm particularly curious about how minimalism is continually evolving in areas like design and fashion, constantly finding new ways to express its core principles visually.
That's a fantastic question, because design and fashion are really visible barometers of cultural change. In 2025, the design updates are quite telling. We're seeing a clear, pronounced shift away from those stark, often cold, almost laboratory-like white spaces that used to define early minimalist interiors. Instead, there's a strong embrace of what's being called warm minimalism. This aesthetic intentionally incorporates earthy tones, think deep olives, terracotta, muted blues, warm grays alongside natural materials like blonde wood, rough-hewn stone, linen, and organic cotton. Functional art is also key. The goal here is to simplify without sterilizing, to create welcoming, serene, and clutter-free spaces that still feel incredibly inviting, personal, and profoundly lived in, fostering a sense of calm and comfort.
So it's about adding texture and warmth without adding clutter. And in fashion, how does this translate? Are we all just wearing gray turtlenecks now?
Not quite. While the timelessness of a great gray piece definitely endures, in fashion, it's all about quality over quantity. This means consciously investing in fewer but higher standard pieces that are meticulously built to last, rather than constantly buying into fast fashion trends that quickly fall apart or go out of style. Think about creating versatile capsule wardrobes, a curated selection of garments that can be mixed and matched effortlessly, offering comfort, incredible versatility, and an enduring style that transcends seasons. We're seeing designers focusing on modular collections, where a few carefully chosen items can create dozens of different outfits. It's almost a quiet rebellion against the disposability of consumer culture, prioritizing craftsmanship and longevity while still allowing for individual flair through strategic, bold accents.
So it's about making deliberate choices, not just in what we buy, but in how long we expect to keep it and how versatile it is. That really echoes the core philosophy.
Absolutely, and this extends to architecture as well. Modern minimalist houses are increasingly focused on sustainable, space-efficient designs. They prioritize abundant natural light, multifunctional spaces that adapt to various needs throughout the day, and a harmonious relationship with their surrounding environment, often incorporating elements of nature. It's truly fascinating how these aesthetic evolutions keep the principle of less is more perpetually fresh and relevant across such diverse mediums, demonstrating its incredible adaptability and enduring power.
And from our physical spaces, let's shift our focus to something equally, if not more, cluttered for many of us in 2025, our digital lives. In our screen-saturated era, digital minimalism has truly become a lifeline for countless individuals. It's a crucial practice for maintaining mental well-being and focus in a world that constantly demands our attention.
Its essence is about curating your online life with the same meticulous intentionality you would your physical space. This means having fewer apps that serve genuinely useful purposes, engaging and intentional rather than mindless scrolling through feeds, and ensuring that technology truly serves you rather than inadvertently enslaving you. Tools like app blockers, notification filters, and regular digital declutters, where you prune your digital subscriptions, files, and photos, are becoming indispensable. They help individuals reclaim their focus, reduce anxiety from constant connectivity, and ultimately free up precious cognitive bandwidth.
This is particularly relevant for modern lifestyles, especially as remote workers and digital nomads become increasingly prevalent globally. This facet of minimalism promotes a profound sense of freedom. By owning less digitally, by consciously streamlining your online presence and the tools you use, you free up immense mental bandwidth. This allows you to live more analogously, to engage more fully with the physical world, your immediate surroundings, and the people in your life, rather than being constantly tethered to a screen.
Getting back control. And its importance is only underscored in 2025, given the amplifying distractions from emerging technologies like advanced AI-driven content feeds, hyper-personalized advertising, and increasingly immersive VR experiences. These new technologies have the potential to further fragment our attention and blur the lines between the real and virtual, making digital minimalism an even more critical practice for personal well-being. This raises a very important question. How do we maintain our focus, our discernment, and our overall well-being in an increasingly immersive and demanding digital landscape, ensuring technology truly enhances rather than fundamentally detracts from our lives?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We've talked about peace of mind and reclaiming attention, but for many, this next benefit is the most compelling. Minimalism is a veritable powerhouse when it comes to financial strategies. The financial benefits alone can be an absolute game changer for so many people.
It absolutely is. Let me detail 9 specific ways it cuts costs and dramatically helps your finances, turning your relationship with money into one of proactive management rather than reactive spending. 1. Reduced impulse shopping. When you're truly intentional about what you own and bring into your life, you naturally think twice, often 3 times, before buying something on a whim. That habit alone can save hundreds, if not thousands, over a year.
Huge. Okay, what's 2?
2. Lower storage needs. Fewer possessions mean you simply don't need expensive storage units, larger homes, or even larger cars just to house your accumulated stuff. Imagine the rent savings or the mental freedom from not having a bursting garage.
Right. 3.
3. Energy-efficient homes. Smaller, more thoughtfully designed spaces often naturally use less energy for heating, cooling, and lighting. This directly translates to lower utility bills, which are significant in today's economy.
Makes sense. 4.
4. Fewer repairs on accumulated items. It's simple arithmetic. Less stuff means less stuff to break down, wear out, and need fixing or replacing. This saves both money and mental aggravation.
5. I'm seeing a pattern here.
5. Mindful eating. Minimalist principles often extend to the kitchen, promoting conscious consumption. This leads to less food waste, more home cooking, and a reduction in expensive takeout or dining out frequently, all of which are typically far more economical.
Okay. 6.
6. Capsule wardrobes. By having a curated, versatile selection of quality clothing, you spend less on new garments because everything mixes and matches. You always have something appropriate to wear, reducing the urge for constant new purchases.
7.
7. Experience-focused spending. You consciously prioritize investing your money and time in memories, travel, learning, and personal growth, rather than accumulating more material debts. These experiences often provide more lasting happiness than any physical object.
8.
8. Debt reduction. Less consumption naturally frees up more funds for paying down existing debts. This can accelerate debt elimination, leading to greater financial liberation and a significant reduction in stress.
And finally, 9.
9. Long-term investments. With reduced spending on material items, you have more freed-up capital that can be strategically redirected towards long-term investments, building genuine wealth and security for your future.
Wow, that's quite a list. And in a high-inflation year like 2025, adopting strategies like no-buy challenges, where you commit to not purchasing non-essential items for a set period or engaging in regular monthly decluttering sessions, can significantly help keep your expenses in check and genuinely shield your wallet from ongoing economic pressures. It's not just about saving, it's about smart resource allocation.
That's precisely it. This isn't about deprivation. It's genuinely about reallocating your most valuable resources, your money, your time, your energy, to what truly sparks joy, aligns with your deepest values, and genuinely matters to you. It's about conscious choice and aligning your spending with your core principles, leading to a much more fulfilling and secure life.
Okay, so why should you truly bother with all this intentional effort? The upsides are genuinely transformative, especially for your mental landscape. This isn't just about tidying up a room, it's about profoundly tidying up your mind and creating space for clarity.
It's true, the mental health benefits are profound. Let's really delve into them. Studies indicate a direct, significant correlation between decluttering your physical space and decluttering your mind. Imagine the immediate mental relief you feel after clearing a cluttered desk or sorting through a chaotic inbox. That same clarity, that reduction in visual and mental noise, directly translates to a calmer internal dialogue. It frees up cognitive load you didn't even realize was being spent processing your surroundings, leading to a more serene internal environment and significantly reducing stress and anxiety.
Less mental noise, I like that.
Exactly. Furthermore, having fewer choices to make, whether it's about possessions, what to wear, or even what activities to commit to, drastically reduces what psychologists call decision fatigue. That's the mental exhaustion that comes from constant deliberation over countless options. With the curated wardrobe, for instance, those choices are streamlined. You grab one of your well-loved, versatile outfits, and suddenly that mental energy isn't wasted on what to wear, but is freed up for something truly important, perhaps focusing on a key project, or simply savoring your morning coffee. This reduction in constant micro-decisions creates a quieter, more efficient mind. This in turn boosts overall happiness and satisfaction because you're aligning your life with your core values, which fosters greater authenticity and contentment. As one psychologist notes, taking control of your consumption empowers you, leading to an enhanced sense of autonomy and overall well-being. A clear, uncluttered space truly promotes better focus and concentration. When we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about creating a robust psychological foundation for greater peace and genuine fulfillment, helping you step off the hedonic treadmill, that exhausting, ultimately unsatisfying cycle of constantly seeking new pleasures and possessions that often yield no real, lasting happiness.
Beyond that profound mental peace and clarity, the financial freedom aspect is absolutely immense, as we've already touched on. It's a direct route to gaining much more control over your money, your future, and your sense of security.
Indeed. It translates into direct, tangible savings immediately. Owning less intrinsically saves you money on impulse buys, on the often hidden cost of storage units for excess items, on maintenance and repairs for those items, and even on energy bills, as smaller, more thoughtfully designed living spaces are frequently more efficient to heat and cool. This means more for experiences. Freeing up cash means you have significantly more funds available for travel, for enriching experiences that build lasting memories, or for strategic investments that truly enhance your life and build long-term security. The experiences you gain often have far more lasting value than any material possession. The observation from a crypto enthusiast even suggests that living like a minimalist for 5 to 6 years can help eliminate money worries entirely, underscoring the immense potential for significant debt elimination and building long-term financial security.
And as we discussed regarding 2025's current economic climate, actively adopting strategies like no-buy years or consistently implementing micro habits like regular decluttering actively prevents accumulation and unnecessary spending. These are powerful strategies for safeguarding your financial future and building resilience. Beyond the intensely personal and financial benefits, there are significant ripple effects that benefit both you and the planet, truly connecting your individual choices to a larger good.
Absolutely. One highly noticeable benefit is that productivity soars when you embrace minimalist principles. A tidy, minimalist space naturally fosters a tidy, more focused mind, which directly leads to sharpened concentration and increased efficiency in your work and daily tasks. It also subtly encourages the development of better, more mindful habits, such as consistent exercise, adequate sleep, and healthier eating. These habits further reduce overall stress and significantly boost your cognitive function and overall output. It's a virtuous cycle.
And the environmental impact is quite clear and direct. Less consumption inherently translates to less waste being generated. Minimalists actively help preserve precious natural resources and reduce carbon emissions, directly tying their individual lifestyle choices into broader, critical global sustainability goals. It's an eco-conscious way of living that makes a tangible difference.
Definitely. And finally, there are significant overarching holistic health perks that extend across your well-being. Less stuff means easier and quicker cleaning, which can significantly reduce dust and allergens in your home, a boon for physical health. It also leads to stronger, more meaningful relationships as you have more time and mental energy to invest in people and genuine connections, rather than constantly managing or acquiring possessions. And the intentionality inherent in minimalism cultivates self-discipline, a valuable life skill, and fosters a deeper, more profound sense of gratitude for what you truly have, rather than continually longing for what you don't. It truly enhances your overall quality of life.
Okay, so the benefits are pretty compelling across the board. Ready to dip your toes in. Remember, there's absolutely no need to toss everything overnight or commit to any extreme measures right away. This is a highly personalized journey, and you have complete freedom to take it at your own pace, adapting it to your unique life.
That's a crucial point. Here's a step-by-step guide incorporating some 2025 insights to help you get started on your personal path to embracing minimalism effectively. 1. Reflect on your why. Before you even begin decluttering, take some dedicated time to deeply reflect and jot down your core reasons for exploring minimalism. Is it for stress relief? To achieve financial freedom? To carve out more time for hobbies or loved ones? In 2025, consider connecting your why to broader, pressing trends like environmental sustainability or reclaiming your focus from constant digital overwhelm. This grounding motivation will be your unwavering compass when things feel challenging or when you face resistance.
So know your motivation first. Got it. Step 2.
2. Declutter gradually. Don't feel you have to tackle your entire home at once. That can be paralyzing. Start small and build momentum. You could begin by clearing a single countertop, discarding obvious duplicate items, or focusing on just one drawer or shelf. A great starting point for many younger generations in 2025 is consciously ditching common clutter culprits like old mattresses, unused electronics, and mountains of papers. These small, achievable wins build confidence and make the process feel manageable.
Small steps. Okay.
3. Curate essentials with intent. A highly effective method is what we call the packing party. The idea is simple. Box up absolutely everything in a room as if you're moving. Then, over the next 21 days, unpack only the items you genuinely need, use, or cherish. This provides an incredibly clear, stark picture of what truly serves you. When it comes to furniture, prioritize quality, multifunctional pieces that bring both clarity and purpose to your space, rather than just filling it.
The packing party sounds intense but revealing. Okay, 4.
4. Practice mindful buying. This is all about consciously embracing quality over quantity. Before any purchase, encourage yourself to pause and ask critical, honest questions. Do I truly need this? Will it genuinely add enduring value to my life? Or is it a fleeting desire? Try incorporating micro habits like a 15-minute conscious buying session online where you review items in your cart and consider each one deliberately before committing to the purchase.
Pause before you purchase. Good advice. 5.
5. Engage in a digital detox. Reiterate the vital importance of limiting unnecessary apps, notifications, and overall screen time. Prioritize digital tools that genuinely serve specific needs and enhance your well-being rather than those that merely consume your precious attention. Regularly prune your digital landscape, unsubscribing from newsletters you don't read and deleting unused files.
Taming the tech beast.
6. Build consistent habits. To make minimalism stick long-term, turn it into a consistent practice, an ingrained habit. Try engaging in challenges like a Buy Nothing month, or experiment with a capsule wardrobe by wearing the same few outfits for a designated period to truly understand your true needs and preferences. Advise scheduling monthly reviews to consistently assess your possessions and actively prevent reaccumulation from creeping back in.
Make it a habit, not just a one-off. 7.
7. Incorporate warmth. Adapting to 2025's warm minimalism aesthetic means consciously adding earthy elements, natural textures like wood, wool, and linen, and subtle, meaningful artwork without introducing new clutter. This ensures your spaces feel inviting, personal, and genuinely lived in, rather than stark, cold, or sterile.
Right. Keep it feeling like home. Remember, the beauty of this journey is that it's all about adapting these principles to your unique life and circumstances. There's no single right way to be a minimalist. It's about what works best for you and brings you the most fulfillment. And while the journey to minimalism often promises serenity and profound benefits, it's also important to acknowledge that it's not all serene vibes and decluttered bliss. There are definitely challenges that you might genuinely encounter along the way, and it's good to be prepared for them.
You're absolutely right. One incredibly common hurdle is the initial overwhelm, simply knowing where to even begin, especially if you have decades of accumulated items. Another challenge is facing resistance from family members or housemates who may not share your vision or understand your intentions. Then there's this significant emotional challenge of letting go of sentimental items or gifts. These objects often hold deep memories and emotional weight, making them incredibly difficult to release.
That emotional attachment piece is huge, isn't it?
It really is. Another real risk is the potential for minimalism to backfire into obsession or unhealthy restriction. Becoming overly focused on less can paradoxically lead to feelings of deprivation, anxiety over every single purchase, or, ironically, limit your genuine self-expression. Some personal stories reflect this, with individuals noting it kept them living too small for far longer than necessary, agonizing over even small, useful purchases.
So finding that balance is key.
Precisely. Social pressures are also very real and can be quite taxing. Friends or family might genuinely question your boring choices or perceived lack of possessions, leading to uncomfortable conversations. And there's always the underlying anxiety of potentially needing a discarded item later, especially if your financial security feels tenuous. It's also crucial to acknowledge that minimalism is not, and never claims to be, a cure-all. It won't fix deep-seated issues like grief, complex personal problems, or mental health struggles on its own. Finally, the critique that, as a trend, it can sometimes appear elitist or potentially unsustainable for everyone long-term is something to consider critically, ensuring the movement remains inclusive and adaptable.
Those are all incredibly important points to consider as you embark on this path. The key, then, is to start slow. Communicate openly and empathetically with loved ones about your intentions. And always remember that the ultimate goal is not deprivation, but abundance in what truly matters to you. It's also vital to balance simplicity with personal expression and comfort to avoid creating a bland or uninspired living space. Your home should feel like your sanctuary. Now, nothing illustrates the transformative power of this approach quite like hearing from real people who are actively living it. Their stories and perspectives truly bring the concept to life in a way that abstract ideas sometimes can't.
They certainly do. We see a rich mosaic of inspiring anecdotes and varied perspectives that highlight the practical, emotional, and even surprising outcomes of embracing minimalism. For example, one individual, reflecting on the 2008 recession, shared how minimalism was instrumental in helping them own their home outright. They consciously prioritized location and financial freedom over accumulating excess possessions, attested to the profound financial liberation it can offer during challenging times.
Wow, that's powerful.
On the flip side, we have a wonderfully candid cautionary tale from another individual who warned against taking it too far, saying it kept me living very small way longer than necessary. And they found new peace in not having to agonize over every small purchase. This powerfully highlights the importance of balance and ensuring that minimalism genuinely serves you, not the other way around. It's a reminder that it's a tool, not a dogma.
Finding your right level.
Exactly. A founder shared a really powerful insight. Owning less gives you more freedom, clarity, and focus. This perfectly captures the mental benefits succinctly and shows how it can directly impact entrepreneurial success. We also see a beautiful sentiment from a Portuguese post urging, simplify your days, detach from what weighs you down, have less, live more. This encapsulates the core philosophy of prioritizing experience and presence over material accumulation.
Have less, live more. Simple but profound.
Very much so. The wisdom of aging gracefully also comes into play, as one person reflected. The older I get, the more I value minimalism, quiet time, lots of sleep. This speaks to a natural shifting of priorities as one matures, where inner peace and essential needs take precedence over external distractions. In fashion, the wisdom is clear. Quality over quantity in clothing. Less pieces, higher standards. This highlights the practical, sustainable, and empowering aspect of making thoughtful wardrobe choices. Even a trading professional noted, nothing works better than moving in the direction of minimalism, suggesting its benefits extend even to high-pressure professions where mental clarity is paramount.
Interesting application there.
We also heard from a wellness coach who shared her personal journey to finding greater peace through simplifying her life, emphasizing the holistic benefits that radiate across mental and physical well-being. And then there's the bold claim from a crypto enthusiast. Living like a minimalist for 5-6 years can put you where money is no longer a worry. While a strong statement, it underscores the potential for profound financial transformation when consumption is meticulously controlled.
Quite a claim.
Indeed. Ultimately, a powerful summary from many voices resonates. Minimalism is not about having less. It's about making room for more of what matters. And real estate professionals consistently confirm the enduring power of less is more in design, not just aesthetically, but to genuinely simplify and enhance daily life, making spaces more appealing and functional for homeowners and buyers alike.
These snippets really underscore both the profound transformative power of minimalism and its essential nuances, showing it's a deeply personal journey with incredibly varied, yet often universally beneficial outcomes. So as we look to the horizon, what does the road ahead look like for this lifestyle? By 2030, we can anticipate some truly intriguing developments and a deeper, more integrated evolution of the minimalist movement, further solidifying its place in modern society.
Indeed. One major trend we fully anticipate is even deeper tech integration. This could manifest as sophisticated AI-curated wardrobes that intelligently suggest outfits based on your existing minimalist collection, minimizing decision fatigue. We might also see smart homes designed to intelligently optimize space, automate routine tasks, and minimize friction in daily living through seamless technology integration. Technology, paradoxically, will likely become an even greater ally in maintaining a simplified, focused life.
Using tech to simplify. Interesting. What else?
We'll also see amplified sustainability continue to gain momentum. There will be an even stronger, more urgent emphasis on circular economies and eco-minimalism, where every aspect of consumption is deeply intertwined with environmental responsibility. This means prioritizing repairing items over replacing them, ensuring responsible recycling, and making deliberate choices for products with minimal ecological impact, making every purchase a conscious, planet-friendly decision.
So minimalism and eco-consciousness becoming even more linked.
Absolutely. Career evolution will also continue to be shaped by Gen Z's career minimalism. This generation is poised to fundamentally reshape the professional landscape, consistently prioritizing work-life balance, mental well-being, and meaningful, purpose-driven work over relentless burnout and the traditional corporate grind. Their influence will make flexible, value-driven work environments and diversified lily-pad careers far more commonplace and accepted.
The future of work looks different.
It does. And finally, with urban living continuing its global rise and cities becoming denser, expect to see a boom in innovative solutions like tiny homes, micro-apartments, and communal living arrangements. These models will leverage minimalist principles to adapt to dense urban environments, offering practical, affordable, and sustainable ways to live in increasingly crowded metropolitan areas.
Adapting to city life. However, as with any powerful trend, there are also potential pitfalls to watch out for as minimalism continues to evolve.
Absolutely. The primary risk is the insidious commercialization of minimalism. It could unfortunately dilute into merely another aesthetic, a curated, expensive look losing its profound philosophical roots and becoming just another marketing angle for high-end, overpriced products that promise simplicity but deliver another form of consumerism. The enduring challenge will be for individuals and communities to stay rigorously true to its core principles of intentionality, value-driven living, and genuine simplicity, rather than getting caught up in superficial trends or aspirational purchasing.
Staying true to the core idea. But overall, it's clear that with evolutions like warm minimalism and its ever-increasing adaptability across so many facets of life, this approach is constantly refreshing itself to stay relevant, deeply meaningful, and widely accessible in our ever-changing world.
If we truly connect this to the bigger picture, minimalism at its very heart isn't about stark, empty rooms or deprivation. It's genuinely about cultivating a life that feels full and rich with purpose, vibrant with meaningful experiences, and truly aligned with your deepest values, all by intentionally clearing away what doesn't serve you and actively making room for what truly does.
In our often cluttered 2025 world, embracing less can feel like a radical, empowering act of reclaiming control over your most precious resources, your time, your finances, and your mental space. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of stuff, whether it's physical possessions or digital noise, perhaps starting small with some of these ideas could open doors you never imagined. What stands out to you most about this deep dive today? How might creating more space in your life, whether physical or digital, create room for something truly extraordinary and unexpected for you? Until next time, live simply, live boldly, and keep seeking clarity. And if you enjoyed this discussion and found value in our exploration, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Learn English Lab YouTube channel. Your support helps us bring you more in-depth deep dives.